people, and welcome to my channel Tutti, Fruiti. Today I want to talk to you and open up really about the reasons why I became so overweight. This is really difficult for me, and I'm still not sure whether I really want this to be out there, but at the same time I think it's really relevant that people understand that people being obese and overweight, it's not all about overeating. There's a lot more that goes with that side of it. When I was 18, I was raped. At that time when it happened from someone that was close to me, and someone that I trusted. I tried to deal with it back then by putting it in a little box and locking it and throwing the key away. Needless to say, it didn't work. I started suffering with depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, started to have a really hard time with things. At the time I tried to tell my partner and also another family member, and was dismissed pretty much with it, and sort of told that you know, it was up to me whether I went to the police or not. There wasn't any support there or anything, and made me kind of feel like it was my fault and that I was being a drama queen. So for many years after that I locked it away again, and throughout that time I started to on and off comfort eat to deal with my problems. It was really difficult. Had numerous counselling sessions and lots of therapy, but I was always so scared to unlock that box. So I sort of continued through life and ended up having a baby, and shortly after that my marriage at the time ended. Probably a couple of years after that I met my current husband, who is an absolute saint. He truly is my knight in shining armour and not a twat in tin foil. He has helped me to go back into counselling and therapy, and to work through everything that I went through. Sort of probably about 7 years after that, I felt okay, and then without sort of notice I ended up having a major breakdown. I think everything sort of came to a head, and it was obviously time for everything to come out. I'd been through some other traumas along the way. My mum died when I was 15, so I had to look after my siblings. I had twins, Jack and Caitlin. Unfortunately they were born premature and their lungs weren't developed enough, and unfortunately they died at birth. There's been quite a few other traumas that have gone on, which you know, at this moment in time I don't want to sort of go into really. But obviously with this breakdown, I started to comfort eat. Food, you know, became my happy place. I shortly after I had my breakdown was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, And I've been diagnosed now for nearly 10 years, and they put me on different antipsychotic medications and mood stabilisers and things like that. And I was on them for a good sort of 5 years. And they didn't help either to my weight gain either, because they increase your appetite, but sort of carried on with the sort of food being my comfort. Also along the way, it was a case of if I made myself repulsive and undesirable, then the likelihood is that you know, something like the rape wouldn't happen to me again. So it was almost like a self-destruct thing, where I was, you know, trying to rationalise almost why I was raped. You know, if I was like revolting and, you know, fat and horrible and a slob and everything else, then, you know, surely, you know, I wouldn't have been raped, kind of thing. So it was that where, you know, I started to really gain the weight. And then the food became an addiction, where every time I felt crap or low in mood and everything, you know, it was like food that gave me that little euphoria at the time. And then before I knew it, you know, I was 25 stone. You know, it was a real shock to suddenly get on them scales and see that actually that's what I was. Because even though I could see it in the mirror, I really didn't believe that I was that big. Going through the therapy, the breakdown and everything else, it made me be brave enough to go to the police, and the man in question was arrested. We went to trial. He was found guilty, and he's now on his second year of a 20-year sentence in jail. You know, so even though my case was historical, you know, there was enough evidence there through my own GP, when I'd been to my GP, counselling sessions and things that backed up obviously what I'd claimed to have happened. There was also medical records, and also you know, people had come forward that I'd confided in the past about what had happened to me. So yeah, obviously there's some justice there, but obviously the struggle still remains with myself, and trying to deal with what happened to me. Every day is a struggle, but I am very fortunate that I have the most amazing supportive husband, and he has my back 100% all the time, and you know, he supports me in every area, you know, even down to sitting in them waiting rooms, you know, for hours on end when I'm in therapy sessions, or you know, when I did go AWOL and was in hospital and things like that. You know, he's just been my rock and been there throughout. Yeah, so I mean, that's, you know, my reasons for becoming overweight. And you know, I have been fat shamed quite a lot, and people think it's so easy, you know, I'll just stop eating, or you know, burn off what you put in and stuff. And you know, it's not just to do with what you're eating, it's the emotional side of it as well. And you know, the emotional attachment that you become with food, you know, that's really hard. I'm pleased to say that through my journey and through being with tier 3 with the weight loss surgery, I've been able to continue working with my relationship with food, and I'm quite pleased and feel very stable now with food, that you know, I don't need to comfort eat how I used to, and food isn't my be and end all. And I've come to realise I am actually worth it, you know, regardless of how I looked, appeared, you know, whether I was beautiful or ugly or fat or skinny, you know, that the problem lied with the person that raped me, not with me. You know, and I realise that now, and you know, that's why I decided to start my journey, because, you know, I am worth it, and regardless of what he did to me and what he took away from me, and for all those years what he's taken away from me, I'm still here and I'm still fighting, and I will get to where I want to be. You know, I know it's going to be a long slug, but I'm prepared to do it. Yeah, I just wanted obviously to share with you the reasons behind my obesity, and that it isn't always, you know, clear as anything as to just eating too much. You know, a lot of the time there are reasons behind it, and also to remember that, you know, I am a person and I'm not just fat. You know, and that everybody has their own struggles, and just to be mindful of that. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope it's come across okay. I've tried to keep it together, and if you like my videos, then please like, subscribe or comment, and anybody that it may have happened to as well, you know, if you want to message me, or any help or support or anything, you know, please get in touch. And likewise, don't think because it happened all those years ago that nothing can be done. You know, mine happened 20 years ago, and you know, he still got found guilty, and you know, got a whopping 20-year sentence, which, you know, nowadays for rape and sexual abuse is actually a massive sentence. And it was said that he has to serve at least 13 years of that sentence. You know, so it was a good result, and I'm still here. So for now, bye.